Doing parts work allows you to clean up your identity and what you think of yourself, increasing your capacity to see yourself as worthy, lovable, and opening yourself up to receiving more abundance and goodness in your life. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello. We are back. I'm back getting settled in after my trip last week. Like I said, I will do a Jill's Journal, which is probably already posted, about North Carolina. And I'm sure it was amazing and all the things. And now Dustin and I are gearing up for, hopefully, fingers crossed, our all-inclusive vacation that we're going on in November. I am so pumped. We are almost at the end of October. Halloween. I'm not a Halloween gal. I'm not going to lie. Me and my family have never really been Halloween people. And that was further solidified when our childhood home burnt down on Halloween in 2020. But also, and this is really cute, so in 2022, in the beginning of this year, my parents got a dog named Jack. I was scrolling on Kijiji. I was stoned one night on the weekend. I think it was a Friday night, and I was on Kijiji just looking at puppies because I was like looking for some dopamine, something like that. And I saw this really cute Havanese poodle, and they already have a Havanese poodle named Lucy, and she is the sweetest dog. We love her so much. And my parents have always talked about getting another dog. My dad really wanted a big dog, but like, this dog was so fucking cute. So I screenshotted it to my mom, and I was just like, look how cute this guy is. Oh, and he was on sale. He was on sale because he had like a deformed tail from birth. It was like a birth defect, and people actually didn't want him because of that. He also had a hernia, but that was going to work itself out, so it'd be fine. But anyways, he was like $500 off. So he was a discount puppy, but like, he was the cutest fucking puppy ever. So I screenshotted it to my mom, and literally the next day my parents went to go get him. And they sent Larissa, my younger sister, to go and get him, and she was like, people actually didn't want him because of the tail, which is so sad. You can't even tell. Anyways, he was the cutest puppy ever, and his birthday was October 31st, 2021. And we just thought that was a really interesting sign from the universe, being like, that was his birthday. And the house had burned down a year before he was born. And so they called him Jack, like Jack-o'-lantern. Anyways, he is a shithead. He's a year old as of the 31st. But he likes to bite ankles, and he's super hyper, but he is a sweet dog. He's really sweet, and he was the cutest puppy ever. Anyways, I can't remember how I even got on that topic. Oh, Halloween. Yeah, so we're not really a huge Halloween family, but if you are, happy spooky season. And I love November 1st because that's when we can start getting ready for Christmas, because I am a bitch that loves Christmas. I fucking love Christmas. So head over on Instagram, because I'm always going to be talking about Christmas over there. And I am loving working with my private clients, as always, in the work that we're doing in sessions. They are all kicking ass. One of them signed her first 4-figure client. Another had her first 5-figure month. Another is in the process of releasing so much shame so that she can fully embody her identity as a 6-figure coach. It is just so good, and I am so grateful to be working with them and doing what I love every single day. So if you're wondering if you fit the mold for my coaching, the whole point is that there is no mold. I help women in business overcome imposter syndrome so they can sign clients, grow their businesses, and live a life that they love and actually enjoy their business. So whether you've made money in your business or you're wanting to sign your first couple clients or you've literally scaled to 6 figures and beyond and your identity needs some catching up, your imposter syndrome needs to get the fuck out of there so you can grow and scale even more, girl, I have got you. You deserve a profitable business that you love, and you deserve to love yourself in the process. So let's work together in private coaching for 6 months. At my current rate, I only have a couple more spots left, $8,000 USD pay in full, and there is a payment plan. Apply now at the link in my show notes. So, today's episode, integrating all your parts for subconscious success. This episode is going to be so juicy, guys. I love talking about mindset and how much it impacts your business as a whole. Because of the safety and the intimacy and the length of a private coaching container, my clients and I discuss everything in life and business. And something that comes up often in the identity work we do is parts. And parts are essentially the different parts of you that make you, you. For example, there is a defiant part of me. There is an inner child part of me. There is a confident part. There is a stuttering part. And all of these parts make up who I am. When I coach my clients, a common thing that comes up for them is that there is one part that they are ashamed of or that they've exiled or that makes them feel not good enough. So for example, I actually have a good friend in business who was a teen mom. She is uberly successful now, but something she had been rubbing up against is the fact that the part of her that was a teen mom has been shamed and exiled by her for years. It was only now starting to come up because of her success, and she didn't feel deserving of her success and had started to self-sabotage, and it was because of this part that was now coming up to integrate and to heal. So when this comes up for my clients, it is usually around the fact that they are having a hard time separating their parts because they believe they need to be the same and consistent across the board. This also means that they are, unconsciously or consciously, shaming parts of themselves that they don't think are good enough in order to see themselves as the badass business owner that they are, right? Because if you are struggling with seeing yourself as a confident business owner, you have your reasons. And it is usually pertaining to a part of you that you see as undeserving or unworthy. And this is what happens when, despite accomplishments or successes, you still don't feel good enough because there are parts that you still need to reconcile and make peace with in order to allow yourself to fully feel worthy and successful. A big part of my own work has been accepting the part of my identity around my stutter. I said this on a podcast interview last month. The beliefs that were holding me back from being successful were all around my capabilities as a person with an invisible disability. Coaching and running a business involves a lot of talking, and I am not someone who has ever talked normally. I hated my stutter when I started my business, and it was the root of all of my anxiety and fear. I really had to get to a place of accepting the part of me that is my stutter, and even if I don't love my stutter, I still accept it, and I can see it that it doesn't have to stop me from achieving everything I want to achieve. Because of my stutter, I have social anxiety, and it was hard for me to think that I could be shy in some social situations and then confident online. I thought it was inauthentic of me to be different in different situations. First of all, this is actually a widely understood trait of having ADHD, being able to read a situation and chameleoning my personality based on the situation. But also, Coach Jill is different from Social Jill. It would be annoying as fuck if I went to my friends and tried to coach them all the fucking time. Coach Jill requires a version of me that I have to step into, but it doesn't mean that my other parts are bad or wrong or even inauthentic. All parts of me are important and beautiful and relevant because I decide them to be. So when it comes to your own worthiness and your own identity as a successful coach or a successful service provider, where are you shaming or exiling parts of yourself that you think are the reason why you can't be successful or see yourself as successful? These will come up as stories or they will come up as identities. For example, a client of mine described that she can be rather defiant with lots of things, including herself. This is also an ADHD trait, by the way. But the defiant part of her is the one that started a business at 23 and grew that business to 6 figures. She was exiling that part of herself, telling herself that she'll never be successful because her defiance was causing her to not follow a strict work regime and get too many tasks done at once. when really that defiant part is meant to be loved on and accepted. She literally said, I've never thought about it that way before, when I said that the defiant part of her is the one who started her business and the reason why she has everything that she currently has. She then had a completely new outlook on that part of her instead of resisting and disliking that part, thinking it was causing her all of her problems. And that's the thing. All parts of you have to be welcomed, even the ones you dub ugly or terrible or mean or whatever. You might interpret a part as bad or shameful, like the part of you that gets defensive or triggered over something, but almost always your bad parts are protector parts, trying to keep you safe or keep you from an old wound or experience that was never processed. And I really, truly mean that. All of your parts are beautiful because they make up who you are. As ugly as I thought my stutter was, it is a part of me. And as much as my business friend shamed the part of her who was a teen mom, it is a part of her and her story. As much as my client wanted to dislike the defiance she felt, it was an integral part of her and her success. So when I talk about integrating your parts for subconscious success, it is the process of recognizing the role that each part plays out in your life and how to love on them and accept them and heal them. Only if that's necessary though, because there are parts of you that you love. Because when you are accepting of yourself, it clears the resistance you feel to showing up, marketing and selling, and being authentically you. When you fully accept yourself and are acknowledging of all your parts, you don't secretly think that one part of you is undeserving, so you can't have the success that you're creating, like my friend who was the teen mom. Doing parts work allows you to clean up your identity and what you think of yourself, increasing your capacity to see yourself as worthy, lovable, and opening yourself up to receiving more abundance and goodness in your life. So I use parts in several different ways, and one way in which I use it is I bring up everything. Like, I want to know what you think about yourself. I want to know what you think about all of your past experiences and what you made them mean. To me, it's so important to get a whole holistic picture, and nothing is too small. No experience is too insignificant. And this helps my clients heal on such a holistic level because they're able to look at all of their parts. All of their parts in the coaching container are welcomed because they are a part of them. And then when they fully accept and love themselves, they allow themselves to have the success to hold more success and to attract more to them, right? Like I just said. Another way that we do parts work in private coaching with me is through parts integration. And this is an NLP technique that I use with my clients when they have two conflicting parts that are at odds with each other. So for example, a client might say, a part of me believes I can be successful and a part of me doesn't believe this. The NLP technique of parts integration allows us to access the subconscious mind, see what is behind each part, what beliefs are behind each part, and helps the subconscious resolve the conflict in your mind. I saw someone have parts done on them during my NLP training, and a part of her didn't want kids and another part did, and she ended up having a baby less than a year later after that technique, which is so beautiful. So to recap, there are parts of your identity and that make up who you are that you might be actively rejecting, and it's blocking the success that you want. Mainly, it's blocking your ability to see yourself as the badass, capable, worthy woman that you already are. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I started my business in 2018, and it took me 2 years to see my value as a coach and to rectify those parts of me. And when I decided to believe I could be successful as a coach, despite the parts of me that I thought were wrong or bad, that's when everything changed. It's when my income started to increase, honestly, and it's when I saw coaching as a real ass career and the fact that I could be a legitimate, profitable, and successful business owner. I have always been good enough. I have always been worthy. I have always had this version of myself inside of me. She just needed to be activated, and the parts that I was trying to exile or shame or pretend weren't there needed to come up for resolution, to be healed, seen, processed, and accepted. And it never ends. As I reach new levels, climbing to $500,000 in my coaching business, some parts begin to come up for resolution. And my job is to see them, love them, accept them, and understand that I am all of my parts. I am not just reduced to one. And You can hold different identities in different parts of your life because you are all of these different parts, and you could never be reduced to just one version of yourself. You are everything. You are good enough. You are worthy. I would love to do this work with you to create subconscious success in your life and your business, to heal those parts of you that you are rejecting, and to help you see yourself as the capable businesswoman that you are, so you can sign more clients, make more money, grow your business, and love the life that you live. Apply now at the link in my show notes for 6 months of one-to-one coaching. My current rate is $8,000 pay in full, and there is a payment plan available. I love you. Happy spooky season. I'll see you next week in November. Thanks for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to find out how you can take this work deeper with me in one-to-one coaching or in the From Imposter to Empowered group program. In the show notes, you'll also find a free 3-day challenge to start the process of overcoming your inner imposter. And once you're done with all of that, screenshot this episode and share it on Instagram, tagging me at your coach Jill so we can connect. See you next time.